Yeah, good evening and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Daily Double. Tonight we'll be finishing the ninth parak in Masechah Shabbos. I'll be starting the 10th parak. Let's get into it. Mishnah Zayin. Amotzi Kubas HaRochlin. Parak Tet Mishnah Zayin. Amotzi Kubas HaRochlin. Al Bi Sheish Ba Kama Minim Minim Harbe Eno Chayav Al Chatas Achas. Taking out a basket. Now we're talking about rochel, a peddler over here. I'm not, maybe in New York City they have peddlers going around. I know in Israel and certain places in Geula, they have people, some of these people are Arabs, they walk around with like these cheap watches, these cheap electronics. They'll try to sell you anything. That's what I think a rochel is. I think that's what the Farshim say is perfumes. I don't think that's really what it means. It means the peddlers that are walking around with different types of things, different types of electronics over there. So it's in one box, so therefore you're chayav only one chatas if you would take that out. Or the rochel was Jewish. Mostly on Shabbos. Again, it has to be big enough for a business venture. Since it's one business venture, therefore only chayav for the entire box in one box. Zerone gina, take out seeds that could be planted in your garden, cucumber seeds, let's say. Palkos mikrogeris, even one seed according to the Tanakama, even if it's less than a grogeris. Normally it's shear for achila, for food, is ogeris, but here the malacha you're doing is zriya, and you're using chayav for zorei, even if sowing one seed. You need to have 5. Of a rag of cucumber seed, zera kishuin of a regular seed, not one of the ones that he's going to list in a second. Zera kishuin, cucumber seeds happen to be shnayim. Those are more expensive, so even 2 of them. Zera deluin, you want to gourds shnayim. Zera pola mitzri shnayim, again, Egyptian beans, also 2 of those. Normally, any other seeds, you need 5, because that's considered something significant to have 5 plants of that. 2 cucumbers also is considered something significant. I'll talk about the Machlokas or Yehudim B'Seira and the Rabbanon and Ian Mitzion. Chagav Chai Tor Kol. You take out a grasshopper that's alive. That's kosher, right? There's certain kinds of grasshoppers that are kosher to eat, and certain not. So it doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't have to be a grogeris. You're not eating it. It's for the kids to play with grasshopper. When I was young, I used to collect frogs in camp. So I guess it makes sense that kids would collect grasshoppers to play with. Mace, however, if it's dead, it could go geras, right? Because you could eat it. It's kosher, so it has to be geras. Shais of achila, all foods. Siporas kromim, birds that fly around in the vineyard. Bein chay, bein mesa, kolshu. Shematzim l'sel refuah. These are not eaten. I don't think it's a kosher bird. However, it's used. Apparently, this type of bird was used for medicinal purposes. So whether it's alive or dead, it doesn't matter how big it is, even if it's less than a grogeris. You're not using it for yachila, using it for refuah. And for refuah, you're going to take it and you're going to use, concoct a medication as a malacha d'oraisa. Shabbos, which is really the malacha of lisha. Lisha is mixing concoctions together. That's really what lisha is. We'll talk more about that going forward. That's my chiddush, but I'm telling you what I think. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, even if you take out a live grasshopper that's not kosher, kosher is because he's not going to eat it, he's going to play with it, so whether it's kosher or not. And the Rabbanan say no, we don't factor that in because you might come to, we don't give those to our children because it might die and you might come to eat it, and I don't want the kid to be violated in Isra of eating a non-kosher thing. And even though you're not muzharim to mafresh a katan from an Isser, but you're not supposed to give it to him, put it in his hands, it might die, and he's going to eat it, so therefore you don't give it to him to play with, so therefore only the measurement you go by, we only apply the halacha when it comes to a kosher grasshopper. Perak Yud Mishnah Aleph Matzniya. Matzniya l'zero dugma l'refuah v'otziu b'Shabbos chayav b'kol shehu. Let's say you set aside a seed, you want to plant it, or a dugma, or a small sample to show people a color, right? You have these little patches of cloth to show people different colors for carpeting and things like that. Or refuah, or you set aside some chemicals for refuah, about tziyah b'Shabbos. Now, all these things, zera, right, the seed, it doesn't have to be the size of a gugeres, it's for the malacha of zriya. Dugma, again, is for the malacha of tzivia, of coloring. Or refuah, maybe the malacha of lisha. About tziyah b'Shabbos, and you take it on Shabbos, chayav b'kol shu. Even if you weren't the person that set it aside, you're someone else who found it and took it out. You go after the das of the person who wants to eat it because he gave it chashivas to that side. He designates for zriya, and for zriya, 1 seed is enough, like we learned in the last Mishnah, be chayav for. Kol adam ein chayav ela kishuro. um, I'm sorry, made a mistake. It's only that person, the person who himself set it aside. But if someone else found this person, what this person set aside, and he had in mind to take it out for something else, he took the seed out. He wanted the watermelon seed to eat, not the plant, right? So he only chayav for the share of a girl garish for achila. Chazer vechniso, eno chayav ela kashiuro. If the person who was matzniya the zera for planting, he took it outside and then he brought it back in right before Shabbos and set it aside. He redesignated it for eating. He decided he had a change of mind. I don't want to plant it. I want to eat it. So then when he takes it out, even if he forgot about it, he took it out on Shabbos. He's only chayav hit based on his redesignation on the bigger shear. That's the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Ian Mitzia. We'll analyze Perek Tet, Mishnah Zayin.